in 3, 2, 1. All right. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another Monday, which means it is time for another Monday night online open mic presented by the Barbed Open Mic series. That baby right here. This is a stay-at-home open mic. My name is Richie Marruffa, and I am your project director for this whole thing. Let me make sure we are live. All right, we're good. We're good. Cool. Good to see everyone. As I said, happy Monday. Glad to have you guys here. For 2 years now, we've been doing this show, and frankly, it's just quite a whole lot of fun. This has become a great Monday routine because, generally, we've known Mondays to suck anyway, right? What was that, Kit? The anti-Garfield crowd? Although he does kind of agree with us as far as Mondays sucking, but they don't anymore. You know why? Because we're doing online open mics. That's right. Just like any other open mic, anyone in the world, yes, even you can sign up to perform your creative work. So that's poetry, prose, creative nonfiction, flash fiction, haikus. Maybe you are a singer, a songwriter. Then come on through. This is a place for you. So we do welcome you. If this is your first time here, thankfully, there's a whole backlog of 200 plus episodes you can go check out. You can go see how so many of us have evolved over the last couple of years, how our setups have changed, and more importantly, how our work has maybe transformed, maybe gotten a little stronger, our performances as well. It's kind of really fun. It's a time capsule for sure. And you can go to every episode, and thankfully each episode is time-stamped, which is really helpful as well. So we are based out of El Paso, Texas, the U.S. Southwest, but because we are online, we're happy to be connecting with people from all over the world. So we want to give a shout out to everyone tuning in right now on the live stream, or if you're just watching this later as a replay, as like an after the fact kind of thing. Still, we thank you for tuning in. In fact, I'm always encouraging that as you, the listener, the audience, one of the most important things is our connection with you. So for people who perform, like let them know, what poems did you enjoy? Is there a poem that you really loved, one that you connected with? Maybe you learned something new. Any way you can give feedback is always much appreciated, even if it's just leaving fire emojis in the chat, whatever. Let us know you're listening. Let us know you're here. It's really important to us that you are here. So thank you. If you're returning, as always, welcome back. The open mic is pretty simple. If you want to perform, all you have to do is sign up. And once you are signed up, you get 5 to 7 minutes on stage when you're called up to do your thing. If you do want to sign up, there is always a link to sign up in the description of the YouTube video. That's always kind of the fastest way to get it. We also have our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Usually those go up as well the day before at the latest. Sometimes I get a little loopy and I forget, and people are texting me, hey, this is the wrong link, or hey, you forgot to put it up, and I mess up. I'm human. But we're here every week regardless. And so even if it's like an hour before the show starts, we're going to get together and do our thing regardless of who's here. We still do this because it is important to hold a space for people. And obviously, we're not the only one. As you guys tune in, we're going to get to hear about a lot more wonderful spaces that you guys can participate. You can share your work, even get some writing done. All right. So today, I am not driving the ship. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and take the keys, the invisible keys. I've done this before, and I'm going to do it every now because it's such a fun metaphor. I'm going to go ahead and hand the keys over to tonight's host, who is aptly nicknamed Mr. Monday Night. That's right. He's always coming through. Been here since day one. Let's go ahead and welcome tonight's host, Kit Wren. Kit, what's up, man? Go ahead and take it away. I'm going to fall into the background.
What's up, Richie? The sun has made its way to its home in the western sky, and it is Monday evening in El Paso. And ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else, I'm very glad that you have joined us tonight. I'm going to start with a cover poem real quick as just sort of the sacrifice before we get into the main show. I'm going to read Ode to the Maggot by Yusuf Komanyaka. Brother of the blowfly and Godhead, you work magic over battlefields and slabs of bad pork and flop houses. Yes, you go to the root of all things. You are sound and mathematical. Jesus Christ, you're merciless with the truth. Ontological and lustrous, you cast spells on beggars and kings. Behind the stone door of Caesar's tomb or split trench in a field of ragweed. No decree or creed can outlaw you as you take every living thing apart. Little master of earth, no one gets to heaven without going through you first. And a very quick second cover, which you will understand the meaning of very soon, because this is This Be the Verse by Philip Larkin. They fuck you up, your mom and dad. They don't mean to, but they do. They fill you with the faults they have and add some extra just for you. But they were fucked up in their turn by fools in old style hats and coats, who half the time were soppy stern and half at one another's throats. Man hands on misery to man. It deepens like a coastal shelf. Get out as early as you can and don't have any kids yourself. And on that bombshell, I'm going to introduce our first reader, and we are, appropriately enough, going to keep it in the family, because coming up next is someone I've known since birth. Please welcome Robin Schofield.
Thank you. Thanks, Kit. Thanks, everybody. Oh, well, this is more than appropriate because I'm going to read a poem for my mother, who died about this time last year, I believe, maybe a little earlier in May. And I wrote this poem a lot for her. It's called Demonstration Garden. 1, mid-spring. In leopard-like light, Ignacio planted tomatoes called heat masters in our county demonstration garden, while I sowed seeds for marigolds, flowers for the dead, yes, but also serving to ward off nematodes and white flies. They were Mother's favorite flower, but she never understood not to plant them in the shade. She thought only of their orange faces and where they looked beautiful. She didn't think of what flowers need. Mother, marigolds eat the light. Why didn't you know that? Now I, who study this garden in all of its seasons, must plant marigolds in the partial shade of the tomatoes to protect them from the harsh desert sandlight. 2, midwinter. There was no harshness in the light of north central Texas, land of live oak and weeping willow, land of creeks and springs and man-made lakes. There was the dark speed of the blue norther, when the wind turned strong and the pressure dropped and the temperature, yellow light drained out of the sky, and my father liked to stand out in the weather to feel it come in. But he had no sympathy for me when I went outside to write on a gray November day. He yelled and told my mother she's playing some kind of game in her notebook. My father didn't plant flowers or anything else. He had fled the farm on purpose a long time ago. In fact, he trimmed their trumpet vine at the wrong time every spring at Mother's behest, nipping off the barely orange buds. One night when I was 12, he made us stay up to catch the lunar eclipse, and we saw the moon turn red and her light spill into the stars. He pointed out Orion's belt of 3 worlds, the first I'd seen them, the Big Dipper, the North Star, Milky Way, my first travels in the universe. 3, midsummer. He took us on our first travels throughout the country, long road trips. When we went to Carlsbad Caverns, he said, "Hey, we're halfway to the Grand Canyon." And so we went from the dark caves of shiny limestone to sunsets bursting on the south rim. He took us to the big lake near us, made by damming up 2 creeks, the Garza and the Little Elm. I saw green light braiding the underside of leaves, the sparkle of the motorboat's wakes in the distance on the white and blue water. I remember Mother in her orange poncho on the beach under the umbrella, shielded from the sun while she slathered us with sunscreen. I saw the full moon rise over the Galveston seawall and spangle the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. 50 years later, I watched the full moon come up over Mount Greylock in the Berkshires, land of glacier-made lakes and rivers and mountains. Here is a luxurious garden where the tomatoes are just starting with basil in between. A helicopter passes over and puts its searchlight right on Liskin and me. It must be my borderland karma, or else some backpacker lost in the dark. These hemlock and spruce forests and the light that filters through in the shape of the scarlet eft or the white bark of birch in moonlight. No, the forest isn't dark after all. So different from the dark, rainy El Paso to which I return, the core of Hurricane Enrique passing over. Sunset through thick clouds startles like the golden full moon. Sheets of rain, orange street lamps slanting through. Out the window the next morning, the light has migrated to silver drops on the pine needles. There is the annoying announcement of the pale green alarm clock, a sphere of green light till I put the black fan in front of it, making curved green slats. When it's dawn in the county garden by a lake in the great Chihuahuan desert, I'll admire the beautiful squash flower, the brilliant yellow gold of it. I'll think of how my mother would have loved the color. I'll think of how she wouldn't have been able to tend it or nurture it in any way, even though she loved it. So now I want to do my cover poem. I think I was the originator of not the calling it the cover poem, but one time in San Antonio, Kit came to a reading I did, and I did a Yeats poem that was appropriate for my reading. And so, but now I'm going to read The Snakes of September by Stanley Kunitz. And he was a gardener in Maine, so a very different landscape. The snakes of September. All summer, I heard them rustling in the shrubbery, outracing me from tier to tier in my garden, a whisper among the viburnums, a signal flashed from the hedgerow, a shadow pulsing in the barberry thicket. Now that the nights are chill and the annuals spent, I should have thought them gone in a torpor of blood, slipped to the nether world before the sickle frost. Not so. In the deceptive balm of noon, as if defiant of the curse that spoiled another garden, these two appear on show through a narrow slit in the dense green brocade of a North Country spruce, dangling head down, entwined in a brazen love knot. I put out my hand and stroked the fine, dry grit of their skins. After all, we are partners in this land. co-signers of a covenant. At my touch, the wild braid of creation trembles. Thank you.
It's us thanking you. Thank you very much for that, Robin Schofield. Where can people find more of you on the internet?
Well, I'm on Facebook under my name. I also have a couple of pages for my book. My book Flow won a little award. You can get it directly from me. You can contact me through Facebook. That's probably the easiest way.
All right. Well, easy for me is I just go next door. But coming up next is someone a little further afield. Usually we find him in Brunswick, Maine, but tonight he's coming to us from the International Space Station, which, as I understand it, is different from the International Space Station. It is, in fact, a negation of space stations based on the philosophies of Rothko. But coming from there, we have Generalissimo Brian Franca.
What's going on? Oh, there we go. I think my computer almost whited out on me. It was really weird. Okay, let's see what I have for you. So the first two poems were from Nick's workshop today. The first is a haiku for slackers. To be skillfully lazy can take a whole lot of extra time and work. The next poem is called Why I Want to Wallpaper the Dining Room with Octopus Wallpaper. Like me, the octopus is overwhelmingly misunderstood. For me to relate to an animal I find delicious every way I have tried, from sushi to stewed to grilled, seems a bit psychologically cannibalistic. Then again, welcome to my mirror, a place I can exist in eternal catatonia in a single minute that feels like hours. My mirror isn't made of glass or chrome, but neurotic thought patterns and overpacking when I travel to be prepared for weather patterns and potential fancy restaurants, jazz clubs. Octopi exist mostly on the ocean floor. They are both predator and prey, quite the human characteristic. Like octopi who can camouflage themselves to any surface to avoid predators, I find myself blending into walls when I am overwhelmed by social situations. One day I hope to travel to Japan where they make fresh killed baby octopus tentacle sushi that sticks to your tongue because its sucker's nerve endings have yet to die. When I was in my 20s, people told me I was quite adept at working a room, but these days I found crowded rooms are filled with octopus tentacles with living sucker holes trying to suck my being from the wall I have carefully camouflaged myself against. I think this one was written in Tumblewords. It's called You Can't Catch a Fish When You Forget to Put a Worm on the Hook. There have been times I have written a poem with a line I peeled off my soul and dropped from the roof of a skyscraper to slowly float with the wind, indiscriminately to its new forever home in the poem, attaching itself with Gorilla Glue, achieving uneditability. It prefers to sit in a corner booth and hide from other patrons to quietly eat its meal whilst finishing a crossword puzzle with ballpoint pen. When I pull the poem out for an open mic, other lines get ums and ahs, but this line I tend to read calmly and a little quieter, is satisfied sitting in its corner booth, ordering the same dish every time, always tipping the waitress just over 20% to even out the dollar amount. Sometimes audience members will compliment more showy lines, which can feed my poet ego, but on rare occasions, someone will tell me the corner booth line seems to have been lifted from their life. When that happens, I feel my poem has succeeded in an unintentional manner. I'm not sure, but I don't think poems care about success. They exist in the ether to be breathed in by all exposed to them and either be absorbed into memory or simply exhaled. And then I wrote this last Tuesday, so you haven't heard it here yet. It's called Why I Was Born Guilty for Everything Under the Sun and in the Shade. I am filled with guilt. According to Tucker Carlson and his ignorant, bigoted fans that fan his ratings for Fox News Network, because I am Jewish, I am party to an elaborate conspiracy conspiring to replace all the white folk with unwhite foreigners. To be honest, due to the fact that I might be a foodie, the more ethnic restaurants and grocery stores, the better. Many refugees and asylees end up opening businesses in dead downtowns of towns, providing jobs to locals who can't find jobs. Unfortunately, I have had nothing to do with that. Neither to my knowledge of any of my relatives or any of the myriad Jewish folks I know. I'm quite sure the major nonprofits in Maine that help refugees and asylees are affiliated with Catholic, Lutheran, and Methodist churches. I feel guilty. I am not party to this. I guess if Tucker Carlson and his brainwashed bevy of bigots want to assign guilt to Jews for anything, it's our uncanny ability to feel guilty. Thank you.
Thank you, General, a man of many talents, and you can find them pretty much anywhere there are two webcams interfacing with each other. But where else can the people find you?
I believe that on the 6th of June will be my next Cafe Generalissimo. I think I have it. Here we go. I'll put it in the chat. And then on the 11th of June, I'm going to be doing Dumping Rounds, which is out of the Bronx, and I'll put all that information into the chat.
Excellent.
And of course, how to buy my book will be put in the chat as well. Gracias, everyone.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And coming up next to our digital stage, we're moving things around, but we're going to bring it back to the homeland for a little bit, back to the border. And we're going to go to someone who, if I was speaking to a journalist about this space we've made, they would be who I would trot out as a success story, because they are the most valuable Lee, MV Lee. When you're ready, please.
Sorry. I have a few new poems, so I think I'm gonna start with those. Let me just open it up in here. There you go. So this past Saturday, I offered a workshop through the Borderland Rainbow Center in which it was primarily focused on healing using shadow work, prompts, and this is what came out of those prompts for me. I'll start with this one. This is called All Consuming. A lump tightens in my throat, feathering itself into the tangles of words and emotions I wish I could let go of, but remain stuck in place, immutable. And the anger is rising, fiery liquid burning all on its path, loosening the knot, but burning the words hidden within. Let me feel this sadness for all the things I've lost, the me I had to let go of without a warning or a goodbye. Let the molten anger within my chest freeze, stand still before it devours all grief and sadness, relief and joy of finding me, knowing me, being me. I need to let go of my anger because sometimes that is all I allow myself to feel, and that is all I turn into. I must let through the rest of these bubbling feelings within me, make themselves known, let them watch them come and go. Allow myself some space, time for quiet introspection, meditation, feeling the things that live in my head, this heart, taking hold of the soul, and let go of those things that no longer serve me, that served me well in times of need, times of fear, but are no longer needed. Create space for me to be so that I then may bring forth cleansing light unto others, free of the murky vision of helplessness and hopelessness. The fog created by this fire that had blurred my vision took me down uncharted paths to nowhere, turned myself around and spun until the circles I walked in became all I knew. until I allow tears of hurt and joy clear the fires, the air of a second breath cleared out the fog so I could pave a path out of the ashes, walking into the valley of shadows unknown, where I made when I made friends with my own. That was the first one. The second one, it's called Neglect. I showed my shadow self the same neglect my inner child was shown. Pushed the hurt and fear deep down, further down, until I could not hear its begging anymore. In the crawl space of this mind, of this heart, it grew hungry, it grew angry, lonely and loathsome, starved out of love I could not show to myself, subsisting out of the crumbs of self-doubt and hatred which it regurgitated, ruminated, believing itself unworthy, talked away into a foreign body it no longer recognized as its own. When I finally allowed it to see the light of day, I could not recognize myself in it anymore. A hissing beast, feral and fearful, forced to see eye to eye with its captor, tormentor. Was I the villain? Am I the villain? I welcome its sharp claws, barbed teeth, in hopes of reshaping us anew. And this is the last one. This is a letter that I wrote with my shadow self writing it over to me. So this is called Hey You. Hey You, the echo of me spoken into light, twisted mirror image of who you are inside. Hey you, I remember the faint outlines of memories you had hoped to bury here in this cemetery plot of memories, underwater grave of regrets, where you had hoped I laid, perhaps dormant, perhaps dead. Hey you, I can still feel your nails digging down into tender flesh, the rusted pins you dug into out of us, the wounds never healed on my skin of shadows. Hey you, remember fists banging against the wall? Remember his cries, desperation? I do. You buried it deep, 6 feet down, underground and gravel, starved soil. Remember his shaking voice, a quiver in his throat, adolescent cry? I do. He held his crumbling child together so you would not fall. Hey you, aren't you ashamed? Aren't you afraid? I am. The creeping, freezing waves of guilt and shame have left me stranded under these icy waters of no tomorrows. Could you hold my hand, drag me out of this earth, of this cold, make the space on your makeshift raft so that I may too survive? We'll talk about it once I'm safe. Hey you, I don't blame you. I forgive you. And that's it.
Wow.
That was outstanding, as always, Lee. Where can people find more from you?
Yes, let me just, there you go. So you can find me on Instagram at cadáveres_literarios or on Facebook as Lee Martinez Soto. I'll post my information on the chat. And I have another workshop coming up on June 11, which I'll be revisiting some of the prompts that we wrote to this past Saturday, if you guys are interested.
Excellent, excellent work that you're doing with the BRC, a local organization. And we are very proud that we get to call on you every week like this. Coming up next to our stage is someone new to us, something that is always very exciting when it happens. And we are actually going to go international to meet this person. Hiba Heba is a Pakistani poet who has studied English literature and linguistics and has had works appear in The Fragmented Voices, Ink, Sweat, and Tears, New Feathers Anthology, the Ophi Press, and many others. She has a micro chat book called Grief is a Firefly, and her poem Morning Prayer was the first runner-up in the New Feathers Award in 2021. Her debut poetry collection will be published upcoming by Golden Dragonfly Press. We are very happy to have her on our stage. Once again, please welcome Hiba Heba.
Thank you for the lovely introduction, and it's really exciting to join this session. I think I haven't come across anyone before. Everyone is new here because I do join several poetry open mics, but I see all new faces today. So thank you for inviting. And today I'll be reading two poems. One is Desiderium, and the other one is Remembering a Repressed Memory. So I just like to give a visual before, I read Desiderium. You can imagine a woman waking up at night and just going to her kitchen and she starts reminiscing. So she has been through loss in the past. So you can imagine that, she is also aware of that loss, or, the occurrence of that loss in future too. So keeping all these timelines in mind, I'm going to read Desiderium. There are different places inside a home we call home. In the silent blubber of nightfall, I plunge into a futurity, my fingers stroking the warm wombs of orange rinds. Streetlights are rippling over the rims of kitchenware, and I picture our son walking barefoot on pixelated countertops. Imagination is a whirl of breath. There is vigor in each longing. A million years from now, I will be cooking in the kitchen, birthing an aroma that allows me to travel back to this somber moment of idleness. Our son's neatly brushed scalp toddling against the rhythm of convulsing streetlights. His sparrow-soft eyes hungry for biryani or halwa puri. Food is also transcendental. It fills the crevasses of memories, a tea cozy on every unwashed gash. I imagine a moment where I am kissing our son goodbye for school, his fading footsteps, a stampede on my ribcage. You are a moon-blanched figment, a sheen on porcelain against darkness. Yet to lose you is to emancipate a merry child into the verbosity of a damaged world. Maybe growing old is growing comfortable in the gentle beauty of heartbreaks. Denial is the weight of my fingers thrashing against the dough. Grief is a soundless droplet of sweat trickling behind my ear. It is the same river that changes, then travels to a future, to a home that fails to surrender the comforting progenies of suffering. Thank you. This was the first poem, and the second one is called Remembering a Repressed Memory. Through unexpected imagery, I have, in a way, sort of like discussed the process of shuffling through your memories and finally stumbling upon one. A squirrel smacks its tail deep into the blue lagoon, signaling the darkness. An ice sculpture rises like the great Loch Ness from a pale blue bassinet, broken to its bone. Soon somebody spills all the names of a Jane Doe, a gazelle grunts in the quiet corner of endless bickering. Remember when Gatsby cradled that vintage crystal in the tragedies of his eyes? It's that kind of night on the hills of copulating memories. A single gunshot wound. Somewhere is a propensity, craning its neck to read the day's paper, gasping at murder mysteries, gently sauntering back and forth, a god lost in a city of skyscrapers. Thank you.
Wow.
Ooh, wow. Beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome.
One
welcome.
of us. One of us. Where's
One
Nick?
of
One
us.
of us. One
Yeah,
of
Nick's not
us.
here to lead the chant, but yes, you are now one of us. We are so pleased to meet you in this way. Where can people find more of you? Because I know people are going to want to find more of you.
Thank you. You can find me with the same name on Facebook. I will attach the link, and then I'm on Instagram too. I actually do a live open mic every Friday, 8 p.m. BST UK time on Instagram. So it's called Verse Murals, and I will share the link here too. So people, if you want to join, on Friday, you can. I'll be most honored. Thank you for having me, and I'll share the links.
Thank you. El Paso is an international city, and we always welcome the chance to get more international. But we are going to bring things back to the United States for a brief reprise because we are going to visit our friend in Los Angeles, Nuria Butterfly. Nuria, when you're ready, please start.
Good evening, everyone. So glad to be here. It's been a while, but I'm really glad. I also had the same issue. I don't know who answers the emails. I guess I'm just curious. Is that Richie or Kit? Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah, because I know I did the same thing as Lee, like, it was the, the 16, and I'm like, oh no, like, what am I going to do? But anyways, I'm so glad I have 2 poems. I'm so glad to be here with you guys. I actually just wrote these 2 poems today, and I wanted to share with you guys. This first one is called Burning Flames. A dance of friendship lasted as long as 2 years. Suddenly, the rhythm was offbeat, and no matter what I have done to get back into it, my feet toes would not align up with synchronicity. Sadness from goodbyes from the past visited my ventilated breath like a child unsettled, suffering from separation anxiety. There she was, in a different place with a new set of circumstances, but needed to release herself from what no longer called her. Loud voices of laughter shatter once filled with many phone calls, sharing of moments, happiness sept in a glass vase, flowers turned into weed overnight. What a poison seemed to pollute and infest hearts and minds. Why friendships are complex and distorted, ushering deeper depths of healing. Tears shedding without permission, salted like the sea, ocean. And the more they came, waves of liquid gushing out from my camera eyelids, gentle and tender, tenderly caressing her freckled face. No one saw it, but God, in a form of a woman, was near, staring the girl in the eyes and collecting every single one like drops of rain into his enormous flask. So that was the first one. This one is called Marry Your Own Goddess. Magic has its way of entering monotonous, weary seasons. Those nothings or somethings fluttering, non-attraction physically, inexplicable connection between flesh and non-bloodline, familiarity of kin, proximity. In its final hours, turns, flip, agitating stomach, it could have been more than anything but friendship. More than a connection, more than just intimacy. Time is a revealer of things, phases that end repeatedly each lent wave, entering a momentum, not requesting, demanding of silence, coercing stillness from under sleeves, from a fuzzy coat. Could it be nostalgia or remixing of what never was? Choosing to part ways, it's always an excellent choice. When he and I went over the misunderstandings a million times, then as a feminist and strength of a bull, as a goddess terminating, draining energy, sometimes the bravest choice is stay in your dharma and not allow any other being to pollute or impose reglas, estructura de como debe ser. How has it been? Not so well for my state of being. Never again remain pending or dreams, wishing that another will aid in its fulfillment. It's an illusion, a delusion to be enchanted with the slight chance of betrayal and beguiled innocence of a child. Take back your crown, sit, sip. Sip it as long as you would like. It's your throne, mantra, so the hell with it all and begin again. Start over, start from scratch if necessary. The first and only step must come from you. Thank you so much, guys. So glad to be here. Yeah.
And we're glad you're with us too. Where can people find you on social media and the like? That's what they're
Okay,
inclined
so
to do.
yeah, my name is right there. So it's Oksana Mauricio on Facebook and on social media. I can post the link. I'll just post it but it's just at Oksana Mauricio on Instagram as well. Yeah, so I'm just so glad to be back here. And thank you for the space, y'all. And yay.
The way the use of a cup is in its emptiness, the use of our space is the people who occupy it. So thank you. And we are going to go back international. We're going to go to Malaysia, once again across the Pacific Ocean, where our friend Julian Matthews is waiting.
Hi,
Julian, when you're ready. Good to see you.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
This is called a mirror. A mirror reflects who we are, but a mirror shows right as left and left as right. A right hand raised as a fist is actually your left. A left hand held out to shake is actually your right. Shut one eye and the other still watches. Shut one ear and the other still hears. Once I broke my right arm and was in a cast, took a photo in a mirror with my left hand, posted it on social media, and 2 friends pointed out that it was my left arm that broke, not the right. Even though you could clearly see the phone camera's reflection in the photo, as if I wouldn't know my left from my right. Hey, it was my arm that broke. In school, I recall a friend in class told me how his grandmother beat him just for writing and drawing with his left hand. Grandmother logic, we were told, is we eat with our right, wash our bums with our left. He forced himself to switch, but then showed me he could still write and draw on both hands, on the sly. I learned the word ambidextrous that day. I notice how people in online threads always need to point out what they think is wrong first, not what's right. How opinions quickly form based on scrolling down timelines and streams, always fault finding, picking sides. Team A versus Team B, Team Johnny versus Team Amber, Team Chris versus Team Will. Favoring the shallows over depth, skipping pebbles on waves instead of contemplating calmer waters from a rock. This is how the world unspools. No empathy for suffering fools. Just a binary that the left is always right and the right is always wrong, or vice versa. Like the duality of the glass being half empty or half full, perhaps pointing out the other's emptiness eases what's missing within. Emptiness preempts empathy, I guess. Maybe emptiness is just a reflection of our own increasingly petty lives. And no one notices the glass until it breaks. Thank you.
Whew. Thank you, Julian. Where can people find you on social media if they want more excellent things like that?
I'll just drop it in the chat. Thanks.
Okay, thanks very much, Julian. And we are returning now to the United States, but I can't tell you where. I can't tell you where because if I was told that if I wanted to know, I'd have to die, in so many words. But we are now turning over the stage to someone who's one of the hubs of the online poetry community, someone a point at which 30 spokes converge, and we're very happy to have her here. Please welcome Finn Bell.
Good evening, Kit. Good evening, everyone. It's good to be back. I would like to just share one poem tonight, and it is, I believe, on the theme of light. Silence follows darkness. and then there was light, and it was all that we knew. I found myself beneath the droop of branches, woodsy tendrils tickled my nose. I stood on limbs that felt foreign and disconnected beneath this yet unmarred sheath. A life emergent, a soul divesting the feeling of being other than it is now. I was drawn to the makeshift of this shelter I was given, stagnant save for the dry wind that lifted and rustled the silver underside of her leaves in a gently undulating rhythm. Was I being guided to keep rhythm with her? I felt my heart for the first time in this body, and it knew to respond. It knew to turn my eyes upward to stare, long patience, at the tree staring back at me. She loomed, I watched, I danced a tighter circle, she watched. We maintained our distance, a pretension of polite and convincing ourselves that we were always strangers, always in the stage of first hello, that nothing rooted us to this place and time, that if an existent preceded us, we were nomads once and again, something that time and rotations of the sun could ever completely fade from our skin. Past lives, past memories press their mark, and this scar shines as we emerge each from our hallowed hiding place, as we creep low upon the ground to dance once again, become wilder and wilder with our momentum building in our movement. For a moment, I hear the tree murmur beneath the ground as she hums the only song she recalls, and as we throw our heads back to release ourselves unhusked, primal. Our howl unravels every life we lived once before our weary eyes, and we see in that moment how Titans bore our steps, bounding over mountains, rearranging heavenly bodies as we strained to all reach for the fruit bearing the most grace, the most light, leaving Codigo to be found by all ourselves, each arriving incarnation, not ever realizing, spinning faster, willing the seasons into being. We journey farther and farther from our own mysteries and no longer know why fires blaze blue and then white when we pass, why we still whisper the languages that lilt and drop with the wind's frenzy. Not knowing our words are the earth's incantations, and these prayers spoken aloud whip thunder and lightning frothy, that a lover's spat, a lover's rejection, a lover's response spoils crops, recedes and desiccates tides. We are meant to forget. Divinity carries a burden of knowing. Silence is our craven eyes searching inside an impermeable darkness. And then there was light, and it was all that we knew. Thank you.
Woo,
That was awesome.
wow. Thank you.
That went many different places. Now, Finn, I know you have a lot of plates spinning in the air. If you would like to tell the people about some of those right now. About the many projects you have going on.
This coming Thursday, I usually have my Thursday night online open mic, but I will actually be featuring alongside Ed MyQ, Antoinette Payne, and Amos White for Sandy Anfang, who is the poet laureate of Alameda County, and her group, Rivertown Poets. And that's all in my link tree. I'm going to post my link tree in the chat. And the following week is my last week of the month, last Tuesday of the month, online karaoke called Loose Lips Sink Karaoke Ships. And the theme this month is Disney. Bring your Disney songs. So yeah, that's what I got going on. Thank you.
Wow, living dangerously with that karaoke. Let's see. I knew a guy in my college town who went every week and sang the song from Mulan about the Huns. It's hypnotizing. I never seen Mulan, but after a while I had memorized that song. But this isn't about me. This isn't about me. But it might be about our next reader all the way over in the swamps of Jersey, we have the enthusiastic, the incredible, a fellow member of the Brotherhood of Hosts, Nick Paleologos.
I love the way you say my last name. That was awesome. Oh man, do I have so much shit going on and everything. I did a poetry games earlier today and it was great. I'm gonna be teaching a lot and I'll get to that in a little bit and everything, but you came for the poetry for starters. So I'm gonna read two. This was done in Martina McGowan's workshop on Saturday, which by the way was one of the best I've ever been to. And you really need to go check out what Martina is up to and everything, because that was such a visceral and amazing workshop. So I'm gonna give you the two pieces from the workshop. Yesterday my name was Nick. Today my name is unknown. I saw a character claim my body as ownership. Tomorrow I don't know what my name will be. Acid did not etch my name onto my tombstone. I don't have a name, just letters to get my attention. Written on paper with inks of past flags mixed with my blood, my identity is a mystery to me, to you more well known. What am I? Tell me. After more than 30 years, I don't know. Whose mask am I wearing today? My identity is in crisis. Invoke my name. Remind me of who I am in this moment. Maybe I will remember. Maybe I will be at peace with my name. And this is from the second prompt right here, because I love the way I really love all three of these pieces, but this is the second one I really enjoy. The first time I picked up a pen, it wasn't for me. It was an assignment, a sign meant to be written. Keep it within the word count. Limit yourself to just one stroke of ink. Cap on what to say and what you mean. I never put my emotions into a poem before. I didn't write for myself at first. At 20, I picked it up again and wrote for me, and I sucked at it. I didn't know what I wanted. At 30, I write for me. Who'd want to hear me, though? Hundreds of people to satisfy my hunger. Ink is 4 letters short of calorie. Paper to be turned to bread, the New Jersey Jesus miracle, the new wave of emotions coursed through me. That was confidence. That was beauty. That was power. Each time I dressed up and kissed the microphone, I thought it would be the last time I graced the stage. I thought it would be the end, the final swan song without music, unbound with the chance of one of us, one of us, one of us, to keep fuel in my gasoline tank. This car of mine had been running on dust and dirt. This time, when I write and perform, I perform for me and for us. It takes a congregation to believe there is a church. That's all I got for y'all.
That was plenty, and at the same time, I wish there was more. Thank you so much, Nick. Where can the people find more of you on the internet? Where have you left your footprint?
On the interwebs, you can find me at The Real Nick P on IG, Facebook, Nick Paleologos. I got some events coming up. So Wednesday, I will be alongside with Unmesh Mohitcar. I'll be doing something with the PGN. It's for the performing poetry on Zoom and everything, so I could drop that link, that Eventbrite in the chat. I also am going to be running a workshop with the Oye group on Thursday, and that's at 7 o'clock. Both of them are 7 o'clock, I believe, and everything, so I can definitely drop those links into the chat and everything for y'all. And when I do drop them into the chat, I will definitely, go from there and everything for you. So yeah, and I also see more of Nick. I think that's the new chat. Chat for everyone. I love it. Thank y'all for having me. Y'all are awesome.
All right. He truly is one of us, Nick Paleologos. We're glad to see you. Glad to have you. And we're going to stick along the East Coast for right now, but we're going to go a little south down to the Beltway, down to Washington, D.C., where our friend Ed Poetastic is waiting. And that is something that we should all be celebrating. See, I got you.
Oh, Kit, you just a hit. Oh, I love your rhymes. Make me feel sublime. I appreciate your
Take
time.
it away.
Thank you. My name is Ed Potastico, Airlift Feel Fantastic. Please give me time to cajole my rhyme for all I feel sublime. I got 3 pieces, so they're gonna rhyme. My first piece is called Nightmare's Daydream. Oh my God, I'm so late. The bills are due. Oh, Mondays I hate. I'm weak. Do I have the flu? Stove, hurry up for goodness sake. My boss is gonna be a red balloon. Breakfast, expired cake. I'm not complaining. It will do. Sofa not starting. Give me a break. Bathroom. What did I come into? Laundry is full. The dirty mistake. Come on. Old, new. Out the door. Time to make or break. Oh, something smells under my shoe. The nasty things dogs eat and make. Wet towels. A bunch. Only a few. A wet towel, sanitizer, and shake. Hope nobody sniff and say, ew. Off to work. Wait, what's that quake? Construction. I need to get through. Oh, my mind and body ache. The work is going to stick like glue. I'll sit and listen to music while I bake. Stop hawking. Get a clue. For God or Buddha's sake, go around their potholes in the avenues. I'm finally here, avoiding the stake. Oh, hey, boss. Please don't be red or blue. I'm very sorry I was so late. Yes. Have a lot of work to pursue. Wait, what's the time? 8? I think I've been cursed. Is it a daily joke or fate? It's the same thing, but in reverse. I feel like I'm going to fate. If I do that, it's going to be much worse. Welcome, Matt. Where's the key for the gate? My body's going to burst. Here's the key. Another daydream / nightmare awaits. Thank you. I got one more. Oh, no, I got a second one. This is called My Candy Ghost. You're my cotton candy phantom. Our days were sweeter than honey and sugar plums. You're the shooting star in my midnight sky. Every time we talk, play, or dance, time seems to fly. Your warmth was warmer than any burning furnace. I still remember your pleasant laughter and delightful kiss. Your heart was elegant than any fluorescent meadow. You're my divine light, and I was your ebony shadow. We washed the city, painting it pink, red, and polka dot. The minutes, seconds, and hours seemed to rot. We were ants gazing at the infinite planets and stars. We marveled at the vast celestial beauty while hearing honks from cars. It was you and me on top of the vast blue world. I was too love-struck seeing a woman inside a little girl. You were a shell of your bubbling self. Now you treat me like a spire of milk or a book on a dusty shelf. You started talking less and ghosting more. You're more emotional than the solid front door. You're my midsummer night's dream, but now you're a ghostly, nostalgic fancy. When I say these words, you get me so heated and antsy. Guess I'm just a familiar suspect. My whole life turned to an apocalyptic wreck. I was your sunny lover. Now I'm just a lunar acquaintance. I was in love with a mirage in a self-masquerading trance. I'm just an inky, nameless ghost holding on to fragments of the past. I watch our memories, trinkets, and love turn to black and ash. Can someone play a sad piano or violin for me? Can someone help my sealed tears be set free? My luminous daydream was at an end. Now I stand in limbo between a masked lover and a concealed friend. Thank you. I got one more. Let's see. This is called this is called no, where is it? Sorry, just looking through some stuff. Just trying to zero down the fluff. This is called Here, I'm here. Knock, knock. Who's there? Oh, this is called direct punchline. Knock, knock. Who's there? Your bones are going to rock. Come on, stay here and care. Don't stare at the clock. It's a joke. Be fully aware. Tick tock, tick tock. Here's your joke. Be prepared. No contradicting doors or locks. Life is one big sarcastic affair. Please, no more over opinionated blocks. It's a joke, not about hit or a tear. If you feel angry, go for a walk. Please don't be a boring square. Don't stay angry with emotional shock. It's words of laughter, not a questionnaire. Please giggle and chuckle, but don't mock. It's not to trigger or discriminate, I swear. Please don't be a statue, mountain, or a rock or a sock. Can't take a joke. Your lap box need repair. Too bad there's no extras or upgrades in stock. The joys of laughter can't be compared. Let the jokester just talk, and talk. Our lives are jokes. The punchlines are there. Listen, be more open and not deadlock. Please say joke, give a little light in this nightmare. Here's a joke. What do you call a painted clown? A peacock. Please, more open smiles and hearts. No more hateful stares. And thank you.
All right, Ed Foreman. Within his form, he finds many ways to surprise. Eddie, where can the people find more of you?
You can find me at this awesome mic that makes everyone Monday night such a delight. Please, please, please come and sign your sunlight or your moonlight. And please, please, please just come and just sing or rhyme or shine your light. If you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook's Eddie Foreman and my IG is Eddie Foreman 92. And remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to shine my post as an insight. If you take a good question, if you take a guess, the answer is yes. Hope everyone stay happy, safe, and blessed, and never stop spewing the wonderful words out of your chest, and never stop being and feeling your best. And thank you, Kit. Thank you for being a hit. And thank you for your wonderful lyric shit.
Oh, goodness. Like I said, he finds ways to surprise. I think that's the first time I've heard you curse, actually. Oh, thank you so much, Eddie. All right, coming up next, we have a very, very accomplished person from San Francisco. They run their own platform every Tuesdays on Instagram Live, but I'll let them say more about that. Please welcome Denise Carr.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I do work with Elemental and Propaganda Poet, and we do Poetically Speaking the first and third Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. Thank you for bringing that up. So yeah, follow us on IG. And this is something I wrote today. It does not have a title. Mom buried herself into my heart when she died. More ghost than ancestor, more snake than fairy, suffocating my growth. Trying to bind me to my body, keep me vessel bound. Her slithering revenge, redirected regret. It takes an inflamed maternal soul to burden its offspring, in death even. A butterfly followed me through the window back into my apartment this morning. It fluttered low and erratic, took refuge in the soil of the potted tree behind the big chartreuse chair, or so I like to think. A symbol of transformation paves new paths into my brain as it suddenly appears from behind the chair, plops down on the wood floor for a moment and hops out. It came by earlier but stayed outside, as if announcing its visit, the way life hides joy in crevices to scintillate your senses, challenge you into imagination. When I transmute my mom's winding spiral into my very own tree of life, the world expands and my cerebrum weightless as wind. Sorry, there's a lot of noise here. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Tanish. I'm sorry for the interruptions. Where else can people find you online?
TanishCantos.com, Tanish Cantos on IG and also on YouTube. I just started that.
Oh, exciting. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'll consult with my friends on Excel. Okay, coming up next, we're sticking along the West Coast. We have one of our favorites, someone who's been coming with us for almost this whole 2-year journey. Out in Los Angeles, we have El Profe, Mr. Tesasomok. Get your pens because class is in session.
All right, today is going to be music in session, my friend.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what damage we can do to famous people. I'm under your spell. Ain't nobody's business. I'm already there. It ain't nobody's business. Every time she walks out the door, I wonder if she's coming back, but I can't help but love the taste of danger, baby, and the howl and the wind and the softness of her hand. I got caught out in the rain. If I die, I don't care. I'm in love. I'm in love. I'm in love with this woman. I've got caught out in the rain. When I heard her crying in her sleep last night, no woman wants to be told she's been crying. When she wakes up, I tell her it's gonna be alright, but I know that she knows that I'm just lying. I heard her, she shot another woman down in the street, and it tore her soul apart. Last night when she was making love to me, there was another man in her If I die, I don't care. I'm in love. I'm in love with this woman. I got caught out. I got caught out in the rain. I've got caught out in the rain. If I die, I don't care. I'm in love. I've got caught out in the rain. In her pen, ain't nobody's business. Ain't nobody, ain't nobody's business. I won't kiss and tell like a stone. All right, that was number one. I need a second. So let me do some throws in there. Folks can catch me on Instagram under Gaseous 2019. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest open mics, you can catch me on Facebook under the group Pandemic Poets. And that way you can stay in touch that way. Very impressive, Kit. You almost ironed out a shirt and a new hat, so I'm impressed. Thank you. So I take that as a good sign. So let's see if my fingers are loosened up, and we'll jump into the second song here. Walking down the street, dark, smoggy dark, looking at the sky, starry dark, searching for the place, wearied eyes. crying in the night, teary eyed. Don't you know that it's true that for me and for you, the world is a ghetto? Don't you know that it's true that for me and for you, the world is a ghetto? Wonder when I'll find paradise, somewhere there is a home sweet and nice. Wonder if I'll find happiness. Never give it up. Now I guess. Don't you know that it's true that for you and for me, the world is a ghetto? Don't you know that it's true that for you and for me, the world is a ghetto? There's no need to search anywhere. Happiness is here. Have your share. If you know your love, be secure. Paradise is love, to be sure. Don't you know that it's true that for me and for you, the world is a ghetto? Don't you know that it's true that for me and for you, the world is a ghetto? In peace.
And
Oh man, I was going like you've seen the cartoon I Trust, Tezo, from The Onion, of the guy with the sicko shirt peering into the window. That was me during that war cover. Just yes.
It wasn't exactly the southern side of Texas, but it will happen.
I had fun. I enjoyed myself. That's what's important because I'm the host.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Tess. And our usual host is waiting in the wings. It's absolutely wonderful to work alongside him doing this and have an incredible respect for what he does all around town, putting up events like this. And he's damn fine as a poet himself. And thanks to me taking up a small part of the burden today, he gets to show you that. So please welcome our fearless leader, Richie Marruffa.
Dan, the man was ready to go. Did you see that? He was all right. We're warming the stage up for you. All right, Dan. You were ready to take it away. Appreciate that, Kit. Shout out to everyone. Welcome to the mic. A lot of new people tonight. Appreciate having you guys here. I'm gonna kick it off with a cover poem. One of one of my favorites in the last couple of years is a collection called Citizen Illegal by the homie Jose Olivares out of Chicago. He's a son of immigrants. And he has in his collection, he has a bunch of poems called Mexican Heaven. So this is one of my favorites. It's called Mexican Heaven. Tamales, tacos, tostadas, tortas, pozole, sopes, huaraches, menudo, horchata, jamaica, limonada, agua. All right, that's a simple one, but it's a really fun one to read out loud. All right, so I did bring it's been a while. Also, yeah, I saw that we had one more person sign up. So if you're watching on YouTube, Bree, you should definitely join us. Yeah, I have my microphone looper. I haven't used it in a while just because I realized one day that it doesn't sound the way it does in real life on Zoom. Because in real life, I think it's more full and the bass comes out a little better. But whatever. It's been a while, so I'm going to share some pieces off of this. And so for the uninitiated, this is just a really simple device. I have my microphone connected to it into my mixer, my audio device, and I can just sample my voice like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Make songs from scratch. So this is one of my favorites to perform, and I'd kind of semi-retired it, but people always ask for it when I perform in person. So it was nice to perform it on Friday, so I'm gonna do it for you guys here. It's called Desert Rituals. Also, a lot of you guys haven't heard it, so. Actually, let me see if I can turn the original sound on. It might sound better. Gotta sample the wind. We're running now, running now. First, there was the fox, and then so much more as Brother Bear beckons breath, blows the conch, creates the blues and blessings of creation. Ay, permiso. See, first there was the fox, and then so much more as Brother Bear beckons breath, blows the conch, creates the blues and blessings of creation. Ay, permiso. Let us through to thrive. In the desert you can hear the sounds of existence, breathing in and out towards persistence. See, we're living to be living and living before living, but death wears the mask of the living. We are society, transcendent, an incandescent light and dust as dead stars ignite to incite the unique verse of our universe. As twin-circled universal moons elevate and reveal axiomatic truth. If we must die, but not until we have lived. Mira el sol, mira la luna, bodies of light and yearning, return from that ether of timelessness, bloom, children of the cosmos, return. It is hidden in that lonely nopalito that grows in the desert. You are not alone. You are just the beginning. sprout seeds of mandala meanderings, because the dance of life and death reveals itself to those who truly listen, who stand triumphant under the glow of a hungry moon. These are residual spiritual individual rituals in tune with the collective. These are our sacred desert visions. Plant your roots and let them grow. Find your voice and let it flow. Plant your roots and let them grow. Find your voice and let it flow. Let it flow, let it flow. On the instrumental. Check it, because first there was the fox and then so much more. These are desert rituals. All right, that's desert rituals. What else do I have? Let me do. This is a piece that I hardly ever perform here. It's called Smoke Signal Serenades. Should I do it with a beat? I could do it with a beat. Although it gets kind of repetitive here on Zoom. I was hearing it. Doom doom. Yeah, I don't like that one. I'm just gonna do a cappella. Smoke Signal Serenades. The sounds of unbroken hearts slide loudly to funky love ballads from that which can save us. We've got shades beyond syllables, a weight beyond words. It's a quantum dance that whispers, just hold her close. Because patience is a virtue, but time is just a dirty game. Nefarious, flirtatious, I've seen a face, but I really need a name. Go on and haunt me, making cameos in my dreams just to taunt me as we unravel at the seams. That's two E's, not EA, as in moonbeams or sea waves. It's amazing. Pick your poison and let it play on sunrise surprises, smoke signal serenades, and ticking time bomb grenades. It's the inertia of the imagery that unsettles in the mind, methodical, meticulous, and generally slow like. It's going with the flow of the unknown, just like lightning strikes. It's a star in a jar, created by spoken word. And if you haven't heard, gravity's a mistake. When you're face first on the pavement, like starry-eyed kids with wax wings who dream of flight without the payment. Hey kid, they'll tell you it's this way or that way. We'll move beyond the black and white, chase grays and seek out better days. Postmodern Prometheans will set the world ablaze. And when the dust has fallen and we've crawling through the ashes, this is where you'll find your muse, your music. Now use it. Smoke Signal Serenades. All right, yeah, that's one I don't perform often. Last one, and then we'll hand it off. I'm kind of stalling to see, because I saw that we did have one more person sign up, so I'm hoping they can make it on by the time I'm done here. By the way, if you are watching and you live in El Paso, Las Cruces, Juarez, and you're in the region, we do have 2 in-person open mics this week. Starting tomorrow, Tuesday, at Mona Bar of Modern Art downtown. Come through, check it out. We start sign up at 8 p.m. It's kind of a late show. We start after 9. But there are very, very delicious tacos that they make there that are worth checking out. And, of course, beer. Can't go wrong. There are, of course, other options if you don't drink. They'll hook it up, with a mocktail or something. Thursday, we're going to be at Old Sheepdog Brewery. We are always there the last Thursday of every month. That is in South Central El Paso. Come check that out. What was I going to share? I just submitted this to Barrio Panther Volume... what are we at now? 4? Barrio Panther Volume 4. It's kind of an edited take of a longer piece. Ever Patient Skywatcher. Mira, manifest this tequila into discarded coffee cups. Yes, the usefulness of a cup is in its emptiness. That is its own kind of magic. It persists It perseveres, it runs on and on into spray paint sizzle of midnight mist. It's flora y fauna, aloe vera y la verdad. I assign moments under the stars as a paradigm for understanding. Moon, magnificent, mystifies, entangles my heart in her moonbeams, greets me like an old friend. You see, there's this thing about taking moments to stop and reflect under the night sky, to quiet things down and listen to the slowing down of your very own breath, to place your hand on your chest and feel your theme music, that steady bass line pumping life force while the night breeze paints the air around you. The moon greets me like an old friend, and here I am. Aquí estoy, finger on the pulse of a moment, ear to the rhythm of this mixtape music. With my eyes closed, I listen to the world song and I hear her cry. It is a cascade of thoughts swirling into the abyss, stretched out and pulled to the sound of be better, 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 be. The thought mimics the musicality of black holes. It repeats and repeats. It gains steam, grows momentum, claims more land, snakes throughout the cities in my head, synapses sparking, smoking, revealing that we can't stop progress on a moving train of thought. Like tick, 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 bloom. All right, that is going to be in Barrio Panther Volume 4, along with a couple of the pieces. Thank you for allowing me this time. It's cool to flip it up. Got to start reading more, especially newer stuff. Thank you, guys. And I do not see Breeze. I'm going to go ahead and hand it back to you. Thank you so much.
We're going to do one last stalling tactic before we give up on Bree and bring up Dan. I'm just going to read one of mine that I haven't read in a while. So just real quickly before we do that. The zero-escaped rocks do their utmost to look photogenic, but at the end of our street, one house has a turf of plastic green, sneering at the new austerity with the Disney version of the old status symbols. This must have all been shapeless desert not so long ago, within the lifetime of my father. Within my own span, I have seen houses slowly crawl up the mountain like spilled wine on a rug. I have seen a Kohl's department store rise from the sands, two trunkless stone legs looking for savings. I buried my first cat, Shadrach, where there is now an Albertsons. Whatever is left of his swollen, mad brain now hunts in the frozen section. There are ghosts in every room and building. A ghost squirms awkwardly between you and your beloved, flustered and with no way to apologize. I do not see them, but I call to them. I owe them respect. I am a guest in their home. Okay, and so on that somewhat somber note, we come to the end of our night, and we only know one way to end things around here. We bring up our designated closer. If you know, you know. Dan the man. Dan, are you ready? Oh, for goodness sake. Here we go.
Okay, yeah, I'm here.
All right, Dan, take it away.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone keeps appearing with a stupid message saying, unfortunately, IMS, LG IMS has stopped. I don't know what the hell does that mean. I'm trying to fix a damn thing. Okay. Well, I know I didn't say. I know I was gonna mention this, but I'm just gonna say a few words. Well, maybe I'm gonna try a little freestyle, but I'll try. I know some of these tragedies we've been through, like Atlanta, um, Atlanta, uh, Orlando, Las Vegas, and especially here at home, and especially Boulder. And there's just last week, a week ago, on the week ago, we never experienced a tragedy. It's again, and it's Buffalo. 10 lives were lost. One of them was a decorated police officer who retired, and the motivated was hate. God, we are sick and tired of hate. We do not appreciate the hate. We need to eliminate the hate. God, I really hate the hate. We gotta put a stop to the hate once for all. Yeah, this is, well, but even though I just want to send my thoughts and prayers, my thoughts and prayers is out to the families of the 10, and especially those who are impacted by this tragedy about a week ago. Wow. I cannot believe we had the same thing. I cannot believe now we had the same motive in common. This is, so even though our thoughts and prayers goes out to everybody in Buffalo, New York. It's very sad. So, okay, I guess that is it for now. I'll prepare something for Memorial Day next Monday. So, all right, hold on. Oh, come on. Okay, here it is. All right, here it is. So find me on Twitter, Instagram, and yeah, find Facebook. I'm behind post on Twitter and a few others, but just get the rest on YouTube. So yeah. Okay, guys, that is it. I'll see you guys next Monday for Memorial Day. And all right, Kit, let's go ahead and get right back to you. And shoot, I'm sorry. All right, let's get right back to you. And tell Richie it's calling night.
All right, Dan. That's our executive producer telling us how to work things. Well,
yeah.
Well, we've come to the end of another in an unending string of successful and great Monday nights, because we are pro Heathcliff and anti Garfield when it comes to cartoon cats and their philosophies. We believe in making Monday the pillar of the whole week, and we hope you will join us this Monday and every Monday right here. Almost said it's Black Orchid Lounge, but that closed. Right here in the comfort of your own home every Monday at 8 o'clock. And if Richie has any closing words, I'll let him say them right now, and then we'll end the stream. And you can all join us in the after party.
All right. Appreciate that, Kit. Thank you so much. Yes, we'll all create a Black Orchid Lounge in our hearts. That was such a very special place If you were here in El Paso, we loved it. Shout out to Juan and Michelle. Shout out to everyone who read tonight. Super happy to have you guys on. Shout out to Ron Mark Thompson, always here to support as well when you can. Shout out to Jenny, who's always here supporting as well. Andres as well online. We had Aaliyah checking it out on YouTube today, who's also another awesome poet. So we, as Kit said, we'll be back here. We're here every Monday. I believe I'll be back hosting again next week. But for the online mic, as always, once we end, and we're done a little earlier than usual, which is perfectly fine, right? We don't have a time limit. There's no one gonna get mad at me for like ending early, ending early. I mean, it's just as long as we can. In fact, ever since we've been doing these, we are going overtime because I didn't expect to like have 3-hour shows. So it's nice, but as always, and if you're new, as soon as we end the live stream, we do hang out in the Zoom chat for a little bit, that way so we can chat it up, have some social interaction. And it's great, to be at home on Monday and still be able to chat it up and talk about anything and everything. It goes, different speeds, paces. So if you are watching on YouTube and maybe you didn't want to perform, but you just want to hang out with us, you're always more than welcome to join us. As long as we're live, you can join by clicking the link in the description to sign up. You don't actually have to sign up. Like the link to join the Zoom meeting is like right there. So we are going to end the live stream. Thanks for tuning in. Again, let us know in the comments. Who did you like? What poems like really rocked for you? And shout out to all you guys. Peace and love. Okay, and I got to make sure to end the live stream and not the Zoom call because I almost did that. Sneaky. All right. Good night.